Hey, hey, hey.
How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome, awesome. I'm going to be right off the bat with this first question because I have been asked to ask you this over and over again, mostly by guys, so I'm pretty sure you're going to kind of understand where this is coming from. They want to know, how the hell did you get Kendra to roll around in the mud with you?
Man, what a dream come true. Yeah, we were watching The Girls Next Door one day, and we were like, man, Kendra seems like, I mean, she's sexy and she's beautiful and everything like that, but at the same time, she just seems so cool and fun and kind of just camera-friendly and photogenic, and all the girls seemed to like Kendra. And so it was like, this would be the perfect girl to get in a video because she doesn't really alienate any girls, and people feel comfortable watching her, yet they love to, they love her laugh and they love her smile, and she's sexy for the guys. And so it was like, you know what, let's go after this. And so, basically they all heard about it in LA and that we wanted her to be in our video, and she caught wind of it. And so they called us up one day and they said, hey, is this true, that you want Kendra to be in a video? And we said, yes. And then her publicist heard about it, and just one thing led to another, and the dream kind of fell in place. And all of a sudden, she flies to Nashville, and not only does she appear in our video, but she brings her whole film crew with her, and she shoots 2 episodes of her show, Kendra around the shooting of the video. So then Chris and I landed on Kendra as well.
That's awesome. So you got, you can get some more LoCash Cowboy fans on that one too.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was just like millions of viewers, and they reran the episodes. And that I just heard yesterday that they got their top ratings for the whole season on those 2 episodes.
Oh wow, so she can thank you for that.
Yeah, so it all just kind of worked out. The fun atmosphere and the video and everything just kind of played into each other's show,
I also have some more questions, actually, 2 more questions from fans here.
Okay.
Somebody asked seen you with a 21 hat and wanted to know what that was about.
Well, 21 is just my lucky number. It's the day that I was born, August 21st, if anybody wants to send gifts.
August 30th.
So, you're August 30th?
Yeah.
All right, you're almost a Leo.
Almost. I'm a Virgo.
Right on the break.
Yeah, right there.
But yeah, 21 has just always been my number. I mean, just everywhere. You kind of look around and you see things around town or on signs, and I'm always looking for a sign. I'm always looking for something that tells me that I'm making the right decision, or I should go this way or that way. And 21's kind of lead me around. I love it. And so it's always just been, my golden birthday was 21 on August 21st. What a great number, So. It's not particularly a race car driver like people think. It's nothing like that. It's very simple. It's just my lucky number.
All right, that's not bad. The Taylor Swift has 13. You have 21. You gotta represent your number.
Yeah, exactly.
I was also told that there's a funny story about the day that you found out that You're Gonna Fly got #1, and that there was some champagne involved, and there was a funny story behind it.
Man, yeah. Keith Urban actually. Someone called from Keith Urban's company, and they said, Chris and I were sitting in the studio at Sony ATV, our publishing house, and we were just working on new songs and new demos, and we get this phone call, and they said, hi, this is so-and-so from Keith Urban's company, and we have been instructed to find you right now and bring you a special gift from Keith Urban. And I was like, no way, this is crazy. I mean, who does that, And so she says, where are you at right now? And I said, you mean right now? And she says, yeah, because I was just going to give her my address. She goes, no, I want to know where you are right this moment. And so I was like, okay, this is crazy. I said, well, Chris and I are both sitting here at Sony ATV. She said, don't move. I'm on my way. I'll be there in 5 minutes. And I was like, wait a minute, Keith's in Australia, because we knew that he was in Australia shooting The Voice.
Yeah.
And so she goes, no, but I'm in Nashville. I'm on my way. I said, okay. So she shows up within 5 or 10 minutes, and she has 2 bottles of champagne and Cristal. And I was like,
ooh.
Oh my gosh, this is so nice, And it had a little personalized card handwritten from Keith for each one of us. There was one to Chris and one to me. And it just thanked us, for letting him recorded the song "You're Gonna Fly," and he mentioned that she took us all the way to #1, and what a sweet view for 2 weeks, and just a really honest, genuine, very cool card.
Mm-hmm.
And so Chris and I decided we were going to celebrate and
course.
open one of the bottles of Cristal, but we didn't know how because it looked really expensive and really nice, and we've never had anything like that. And so we're just like a couple rednecks, we're like, what do we do? We're used to Mad Dog 2020 from the convenience store. I don't know about all this, Boone's Farm. And so we our plugger came over, Ben Strain, he's our age and he's fun and he's energetic, and the three of us were kind of like, let's have a little celebration. So he says, I'm a bartender. Let me do this. And I was like, well, maybe we should look it up. So we looked it up, we Googled it, and it said Cristal 2004. It said it was like, around $900. That's what it was worth. And we were like, whoa, what a gift, Should we even open this? We're like, yeah, we should open it. We should celebrate. And so we began to try to open this bottle of champagne, and there's like this cage on top. And we're like trying to pry the golden cage off the lid, And so we finally pry that off, and then it was time to, uncork it. And so we start to uncork it, and we get it all about halfway out, about 3/4 of the way out, and the bottle starts kind of rumbling a little bit. And we're like, what do we do? And so we kind of are just like looking at it on the table. And Ben Strain, our plugger, says, as I said, boys, I was a bartender before I was a song plugger. Let me try to open it. I know what to do. And we're like, okay, dude, this is all you. And so he pries the cork a little bit looser, and the thing just explodes all over us, everywhere. And there's this Cristal shooting through the air. It was like the World Series. And we are freaking out. Our iPhones are like getting covered in Cristal. And of course, Chris and I, being the rednecks we are, we grab some Dixie cups, and we're trying to move the Cristal that's on the table, the sitting Cristal like on the table to the Dixie cups, and doing shots as fast as we can. And they're like paper Dixie cups. How ironic is that? We're drinking like $high Cristal with paper Dixie cups, and it's all over us. And for like 2 seconds we freaked out, and for the next 5 minutes we laughed until we cried. It was so awesome. And so we probably wasted about $400 worth of it on our clothes and in the air. But man, we were able to tell Keith the story. He called us up, and then at the #1 party, we shared this story, and we just laughed all over again. I mean, what a day. So that's the Cristal story. And Keith was like, I'll never look at Cristal the same. When I look at the top of it, I'm always going to think there's a cage on it now, because no one's ever called it a cage till you. And so that's a little funny story.
And you guys got tattoos for it, right?
We did. We had a pact with ourselves. We said, if this song goes #1, we're going to go get You're Gonna Fly tattoos. And so we did. And I never had a tattoo before. And so I had a personal deal with myself that I wouldn't get a tattoo until I had I took part in a #1 song and wrote a #1 song. So it was a double deal. It was kind of like perfect for me, and Chris and I had the pact with each other as well. So we were able to, do that. It was really special. It was cool.
Did you guys have a pact for Truck-Y at all?
Man, that sucker came out of nowhere, didn't it? I don't know if that sucker goes #1. I don't know where that tattoo's going. Maybe I'll put like truck on one butt cheek and yeah on the other. I don't know. It's going to be crazy.
That's too funny. Now, where did the name LoCash Cowboys come from?
Well, back home, when I was in high school, me and a bunch of my guy friends, we were all just, me and my buddies, man, we had this little, it was kind of like a treehouse wannabe gang, it was complete with like the Farrah Fawcett poster and the Pamela Lee poster and everything, and we had this little place we'd hang out, and we'd sneak beers over there or whatever, and so we called ourselves the LoCash Money Boys because none of us had any money, and we realized early on that the best things in life are really free, and so all of our coolest memories were coming from stuff that didn't cost a dime, so we called ourselves the LoCash Money Boys. And then, we all had nicknames. It was kind of like a fraternity. And so, when I met Chris in Nashville in 2002, I went to Baltimore with him once when we did a show, and then we went to my hometown and did a show once, and I introduced him to all my buddies that were LoCash Money Boys, and he loved the name. He was like, man, this is really cool, this LoCash thing, you know? And so we decided to be the country boys of LoCash. And we came back, you know, it's funny because Dwayne from Oak Ridge Boys just asked me this question last night, and I said, you know, we came back to Nashville, and we had this name LoCash Cowboys, and everyone hated it. They were like, that will never, ever work. And so we kept it. We knew we were onto something that kind of struck a chord.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? They hate it. Let's keep it. And so we did. And then years later, some of the same people who said they hated it would come up to us and be like, man, that name is just great. I just love that name. And I'm like, you liar. It's so great to hear people switch gears, you know?
Yeah, well, it sticks in your head. Like, you can't, you know, LoCash Cowboys, it's very memorable. Every time I hear your name now, though, I think of Colt Ford's new song that you just did with him, Dancing While Intoxicated, and there's that one part where... Yeah, they go through, like, you know, Colt Ford, LoCash, Redneck, Social Club, and every time I see your name anywhere or hear it, I automatically sing that part in my head now, and I'm like, I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
What a fun song to be on, man. I'm so thrilled for Colt. He's got the #1 album in the country right now, and what a great feeling that must be for him. And for us to be on it, we just feel honored to be on that album. And you know, we were talking about something one day. We were text messaging back and forth, and he said, "Dude, I want you guys, you know, to be on this song." And I was like, "No doubt. Don't say no more. Consider it done." And like the next day, we went in and cut the vocals. And we didn't even hear it until it was done. And he kept texting me. He was like, dude, this song is going to be great. This song is going to be huge. I can't wait for you to hear it. And sure enough, man, everybody's been talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just been so much fun. So
it's so catchy. I think that's like probably my favorite song off that album, and it's the most different out of the whole album. And it's like different out of like the way it's, you know, recorded and the sound of it. But it's definitely my favorite because it's so catchy. And I'm driving in my car. I was listening to it on my way here, and I'm dancing in my car to it. And I'm thinking everybody that drives past me right now must be thinking I'm such a freak. But it's so you can't help it. You really can't.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We want to sell a lot of downloads of that song for Colt. That would be great. So
now you heard him. Now everybody that's listening right now, go to your computer and download that song.
That's right.
Go download it.
While you're there, download the video for Kendra.
Yeah.
The C.O.U.N.T.R.Y video, because we were #2 when the video came out. It's still like in the hanging around the top 20. But we were #2 in all country videos.
Awesome.
And so, you know, it's great to watch it on YouTube, but it really helps us out a lot if you go to iTunes and actually download the video for $1.99. That's the only way to hit #1 on there.
You guys have a very, very distinct sound to your music, and also the way, not only just your music, I was thinking about it before, like the way you dress and the way you perform everything. If you were like walking down the street and somebody, you know, you try to explain what or who the LoCash Cowboys are, how would you explain yourselves to them?
Wow, it's such a mix, so many things, and it's all fun stuff. But there's also a very serious side to us too that people are just now kind of, you know, finding. And we've always been the guys that record the crazy stuff and the loud stuff and the fun stuff. But we just wrote a song called "Best Seat in the House." About Chris's father passing away. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we were performing on the Grand Ole Opry, and it was Mother's Day weekend. And, I mean, performing on the Grand Ole Opry, making your debut on there is, like, one of the greatest days of our life. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And so when we came off stage, it was Mother's Day weekend, and it was really special. And Chris looked at me and said, man, you know, today would have been perfect had my dad been here. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that wasn't perfect. And I said, Chris, what are you talking about, bro? Like, your dad was here. He's got the best seat in the house. And we kind of looked at each other like, oh, boy, like, there's a song. And so I put it in my phone. And, of course, Chris wasn't really ready to write the song for a long time because he was still, you know, just very emotional, as anyone would be. And I didn't want to bring it back up, you know, because anytime we talk about his dad, he gets sad. And, I mean, we had great memories, too. But, you know, I didn't want to, like, sit down and write, bring something like this up, and then all of a sudden there's lots of tears, and then we wouldn't, you know, get anything written that day. And so I waited almost 7 or 8 months. And then we went to the Write, and we were writing with Aaron Barker. And Aaron Barker is awesome. He's a little bit older than us and has a lot of wisdom. And there's rumors that he has actually died before and came back to life. And so I was like, Aaron Barker is going to be the guy to write this song with us. I mean, and so that day, you know, we kind of brought up the subject, and Chris said, I think I'm ready to do this. And so Aaron Barker told us the whole experience of what happened to him. And from that point forward, we wrote the song about Chris's dad, Best Seat in the House, and anybody who's ever lost someone. And there's a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we played it for Jeffrey Steele, and our producer, and he really knows songs. He's a songsmith, you know, and played the song for Jeffrey Steele, and he just looked at us and said, boys, this is your number one. This is it. And so it feels good to know that we took our time with this one, and we wrote it from deep in our hearts, and it's another glimpse of who LoCash is all about. And so, you know, we're excited for people to hear that. We've been singing it live and getting standing ovations from this song, and it just feels really good to have something special like this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well,
so there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
To answer your question, you know, that was a long way around.
That's okay.
But, man, there's just so much that's going on with LoCash. I mean, you might feel a little Motley Crue. I mean, we're crazy on stage. I just left the hospital. I just got x-rays on my leg because I took a bad fall on stage, and they thought I broke my leg.
Ooh.
And it's just, we're crazy. We're wild. But we've also got that sensitive, in touch with love and life and heartbreak side too, you know, and it's going to be exciting for people to find that, you know, find that out about us.
Yeah. That was a good story, though. You know, you can go around it if you have a story like that.
yeah, it takes a minute, but it kind of helps people understand who we are.
Yeah. Now, what is your favorite album that's out right now?
Besides anything that we're on, because Pull Forward right now.
Yeah.
You know, favorite album that's out right now. I can't wait to hear the Jason Aldean album. That's going to be exciting. There's a lot of I've heard a lot of the songs that are on there, and that's going to be an awesome album. I'm trying to think what I've seen. I'm really excited to hear Tim McGraw's album that C.O.U.N.T.R.Y is going to be on. I've heard a lot of great stuff about that. I love Lee Brice's album. And I'm a huge Carrie Underwood and Taylor Swift fan, and that Taylor Swift song, it just nailed me right from the first time I heard it. I mean, she hits home runs. And, and let me tell you, this one is a home run. I love the song already. I can't wait to hear the album. I haven't heard the album yet, but, you know, I'm going to fall in love with it because it's just, you know, she's so honest and real. And the music is always sets the pace for the next, you know, sort of what corner is music going to turn. She's really in touch with that, and I love that about her.
We're going to be airing that song later on the show. I've only listened to parts of it because I wanted to hear it for the first time when I was playing it so I can give a good reaction to it. So I'm really excited because I've only heard parts of it. So I'm so excited to hear it, and because I'm a huge Taylor fan also. She does awesome. Yeah. She always has something good coming out.
It's a really cool song, and I'm excited to hear that album.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big album. So.
Now, out of your stuff, though, what is your favorite song that you've written before?
Oh, wow. Favorite song we've written. You know, I really love You Gonna Fly.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know that we had a hit when we wrote it. I think that's a special feeling when you just write a song and weeks or months later, and sometimes years later in that case, you find out there was a big old hit sitting there. And Keith Urban, I mean, that was such a cool experience, and to be friends with him now through all of that song really paved the way for us and brought a lot of integrity to us. And so I'm thankful and very happy that we wrote that song. And there's a song that I go back to a lot called Our Kitchen Table. We wrote this song called Our Kitchen Table. And the kitchen table in my house back home at my mom and dad's place, that's a special spot in our house. And a lot has happened at that table, because that table was my grandma and grandpa's table too, in their kitchen. And my parents are hillbillies, man. They stick to their roots and stick to their guns and stick to the hand-me-down stuff. And so that table got passed down through all these generations. And, you know, we got to talking about it one day, about all the memories that happen, the ups and the downs and the in-betweens that happen at the kitchen table in people's houses. And so we wrote this song called Our Kitchen Table. And I tell you, I'll have to send it to you and just let you air it sometime or something, or just listen to it, because the memories that we captured and we went back and grabbed over the course of all these eras and all these generations, it's unreal that you can capture that many things in one spot. And so to me, it may be a song that's never heard, who knows, but that'll always be one of my favorite songs, because you know, I know when I go home and I sit down at that table that I'm home, and that's where I had dinner for all those years with my mom and my dad. And you know, I know for sure that that's going to be a hand-me-down to my family too.
Yeah, besides, I mean, you've worked with so many artists so far. I mean, we were talking about it throughout this whole interview so far. I mean, Colt Ford and Tim McGraw and Keith Urban and all these so many different artists that you've worked with. If you can work with any other artist now, like, who would be the artist you would want to work with next?
Oh, wow. As far as, well, we've got some songs on hold around town, and so there may be some more cuts coming here before too long that we can announce. So I'm really excited about some of those artists. I can't mention those folks yet. But I would have always said it would be a dream come true to have a Keith Urban cut or to have a Tim McGraw cut. I mean, I don't know how that happened in our life, but man, I mean, we're so blessed and so fortunate. It's hard to know where you want to go after that, because they're just so big and such icons. You know, I would love to have a song with a brand new artist that no one's heard of and watch it go all the way. I think that would be one of my personal next things that I would love to be part of, to just watch that energy happen and watch the song explode and watch the artist explode. And I think also ourselves, I think that's another big goal for us, is that we want to have a song for ourselves now.
Yeah.
As LoCash. So I don't know, you know, maybe in another genre as well, you know, like it would be so cool to work with Aerosmith or Motley Crue, or, you know, some of those bands that we grew up on. That would be really, really cool as well. You know, we've been on the phone today and on Twitter and on text message back and forth with the Oak Ridge Boys. And it looks like, you know, I grew up on an Oak Ridge Boys record, period. There was like 3 records in the house. It was like Eddie Rabbitt, Willie Nelson, and Oak Ridge Boys. We had 3 records, and the rest was all church music, because my daddy's a preacher. And so there were these 3 records in the house, and I wore them out. And so, you know, Oak Ridge Boys were like, they were like my group when I was a little boy. You know, I knew nothing else. And I mean, it was Dukes of Hazzard on TV, and it was Oak Ridge Boys on the record. And so
that's an awesome childhood.
I know. Bobby Sue became one of my favorite songs, and so Oak Ridge Boys heard that we performed this song, and so we just we've been twittering back and forth with Joe and Dwayne and the boys in Oak and in the Oaks that we're going to go in and we're going to record that song together. And who knows? We might get a special appearance on the guitar from one of everybody's favorite guitar players.
That would be cool.
So, you know, we're always looking. We did the duet with George Jones. And a lot of people haven't heard the song yet, but that was a dream come true. We did a song called Independent Trucker. We didn't write the song. Jeffrey Steele wrote the song, but we did a performance with George Jones. And, I mean, how do you get much bigger? I mean, it's just... You know, George Jones, you know, and Tim McGraw and Keith Urban, and we're just taking it one day at a time right now and enjoying it.
That's terrific. Well, I just want to thank you very much for taking time out of your day today to talk with us a little bit.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, and just hold on the line a little bit. I'm going to play a song, and I'm going to get on the phone with you in 1 second, okay?
Thanks for playing our music. We love you guys.
We play Fresh Off the Farm a lot because that's what I learned. That's how I found out about you guys, is that the local radio station played Fresh Off the Farm years ago, and that's how I got into LoCash. That song.
Well, it's going to be exciting to see that song. It's not ours anymore. The Farm has recorded that song, and it is on their album. So there's a lot of confusion as to like what's going on with Fresh Off the Farm.
Yeah.
But Fresh Off the Farm got recorded. It was written by Danny Myrick, who we wrote C.O.U.N.T.R.Y with, and now it's been recorded by the Farm for their album, and we're just pleased for them and so excited for them as well. I mean, sometimes you can't hold on to every song that you got, and that was one of them that kind of slipped through our fingers, but the Farm did a great job with it too. So you'll be hearing a new version of Fresh Off the Farm.
Okay, I'll look forward to hearing that one too then.
Yeah.